Good morning. I'm just going to wait for you guys to tune in. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, Instagram. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, Facebook. I was going to go on live on TikTok today, but I realized that since the TikTok ban, if you don't have TikTok on your phone, you can't download it. So I don't have it on my phone, so I can't download it. Grand Rising 999 Godson, Marais, good morning. Velvety, good morning, guys. Let me see if I have up to 30 minutes today. Let me just look at my calendar. Come on in, everyone. Give me a second. I'm checking something. Okay. How's everyone doing? All right, my name is Aisha Chidole, and I'm an immigration lawyer. I represent clients all over the United States with their U.S. immigration matters, so family immigration, humanitarian-based cases. We handle a lot of complex immigration cases and all of that good stuff. So if you would like to schedule a consultation, you can call us 407-995-6567. I know that right now, we're facing uncertain times, or people are feeling very nervous and stuff like that. So today I just really wanted to really encourage you guys, and just offer how we as a firm could help you. So the first thing, and one thing you guys should understand, is that before and after President Trump, deportations have been happening. Okay. I'm going to give you some statistics before I talk about what it is that I want to talk about. When President Obama was in office, he deported 1.6 million people. When Trump entered into office the first time, he deported 800,000 people. So even President Obama was known as the deporter in chief because he deported more people. When President Biden was in office, he prioritized deportation in the order of national security and criminals, so people who had crimes or were a threat to our national security. And I remember during the President Biden's era, that was something that the Republicans didn't agree with. They wanted them to just basically deport everybody. And now President Trump has entered into office, and he's essentially copying the same thing that President Biden did, which is prioritizing people who are of national security threat or have criminal, criminal records, including this Lackner-Riley Act that was passed. What is different is that this current administration believes in inciting fear and sensationalism. So what do I mean by that? They have to fan a certain base. They have to say to them, this is a promise I made to you on the campaign trail, and here is me basically keeping my promise. So essentially what I'm saying to you is that, I've been getting emails, calls, oh my gosh, I have a green card, am I going to get deported? Oh my gosh, I have a pending case, am I not going to get deported? The best place for you to be right now as an immigrant who does not have legal status is with a pending petition if you are eligible. Okay? So what do I mean, an immigrant who doesn't have status? Let us start with that. People say, someone has asked, well, I have a green card, am I okay? If you have a green card, you have legal permanent residency status in the United States. You have status. Those who don't have status are people who do not have a 10-year green card or a U.S. citizenship attached to their name. If you have a 2-year conditional green card, you do have legal status as well. However, you have to be aware that in 2 years' time, you're going to have to file for removal of conditions on that 2-year green card. And if you're not able to meet the requirements, they can terminate your green card at that point. But otherwise, while it is happening, you still have legal status. The next group of people are people who have applications with USCIS. If you have an application that is pending with USCIS, okay, and you have your receipts, you are in what we call, so while you don't have legal status, you are in a period of authorized stay while your case is pending, if USCIS has discretion over your case. So for those of you who have pending cases, there's absolutely nothing for you to worry about unless you're planning to commit a crime, okay? Because the rules are the rules. The rules have not changed, and so as your case is pending, you did the right thing that you needed to do. And, God willing, you will get approved for your case, and then you move on with your life. If you don't have any kind of application pending, you've been twiddling your thumbs. Oh, I don't want to pay this lawyer. I don't want to pay this. I'm going to go DIY it. You're basically betting against yourself. Right now is not the time to DIY. Right now is the time. Listen, you don't even have to hire me. That's A-okay. This is the time to make sure that whoever you're hiring is, 1, reputable, 2, experienced, 3, qualified to make an assessment of your immigration case, has handled those types of immigration case, and does have a track record, right, of success in that type of immigration to submit your petition for you. You should not be sitting down and twiddling your thumbs, trying to figure out, sometimes people are like, immigration lawyers are expensive. I don't want to spend this money. You're not paying a lawyer when you're paying for your immigration. You're paying for your life. You're paying for your freedom. So what is your freedom in the United States worth to you? That's how you got to look at it. Because on any given day, people are willing to invest or pay for what it is that they consider of value to them. Many people go and purchase a car that they probably shouldn't purchase because it is something valuable to them. Many people go and they purchase a designer bag, a designer watch, designer shoes, a very high-end wig. I'm just throwing out different things that don't necessarily add value or impact to their lives, but because of a perceived status, they're willing to spend that. Then how much more something that belongs to you that can not only change your trajectory, but can change the trajectory of the rest of your family? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you invest in that instead of DIYing it, right? Can you go on YouTube? Your life is valuable to you. Can you go on YouTube and maybe learn how to fix your engine if something says check engine light or whatever it is, and you don't have any mechanic experience? Sure, because everything is on YouTube. But should you go on YouTube and try to DIY something like that when there's a high propensity that you might not fix it properly and then you end up with an accident? So you gotta think about yourself and say to myself, this 6 months that I've been waiting because how dare they charge me this? How dare they whatever? What could you have made with your income? Or what could have been your income potential if you're of legal status versus having to work under the table or work dead-end jobs or, do jobs where you could potentially be charging or making more, right? Commanding more of a salary when you have a legal status. So stop thinking about you're paying someone. This is your life, and why don't you deserve it? So that should be the question you should be saying to yourself. The same way that you say to yourself, I deserve this bag, I deserve those shoes, I deserve those Gucci sunglasses, I deserve to be a green card holder because I am a law-abiding citizen in the United States. I work my butt off. Like a lot of people want to say, immigrants are a burden, like we're paying it. What tax dollars, what taxpayer money are immigrants paying? Nothing. Immigrants pay taxes. Immigrants pay a high fee, even just for a basic application, So, you do that. And so, so the idea is when people are saying that you're this, you have to prove them wrong. You got to prove them wrong and say, no, everybody in the United States is an immigrant or a descendant of an immigrant, except the indigenous people that were in this country. And so on that basis, the same way that all those people are saying, chase them out, go here, the only difference between you and them is that their forefathers or their ancestors had the bravado or bravado, or whatever the word it is, to come in and conquer. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard the phrase, they say, fortune favors the brave, right? Fortune favors the brave. Sometimes when you think about conquerors of this world and certain things that he did to conquer territories or whatever it is, if they never did that, they would not have had that fortune, right? They would never have obtained all this land. I know today I'm like really going off mark without really talking about like specific case type, but I think sometimes I really need to give it to you guys on the real, so like those people conquered all those things, right? So why not you? Why are you not capable of doing it? And I'm not telling you guys something that, I won't tell my own child or my own children. I'm Nigerian, so by its very nature, as any other Nigerian would tell you on this live, we believe in excellence, in everything you're doing. There's no reason why anybody else in that class, anybody else in that enrichment activity should be scoring higher than you because you have the same brain, right? So the same way that all those people in those corporate jobs, the same way those people are there making, businesses and doing whatever it is that they need to do, the difference between them and anyone that's sitting down that has the opportunity to do is in action. Because how much immigration lawyer videos can you consume? Right? So, we can speak, and that's why I can come on here on live and tell you guys everything that you need to do without even you hiring me to get your status. But many of you are going to not take any action. So the time is now. The time is, and I hope that as you guys can see in 1 week, how everything that is your norm can change in 1 week, how laws that have been around for hundreds of years can just scatter. I hope this is an enlightenment for you guys, of how the lack of action can change your life. Because I'm sure there are many people who were very apathetic, during the election or chose not to vote because they don't like this or that or whatever it is. And now they're impacted or their family members are impacted. So I'm jumping right off of my pedestal, but I hope that that encourages you. And now that being besides the point, as I talked about in my video yesterday, if you have a pending case, I strongly recommend that you carry your receipt notices with you everywhere you go. If you have a lawyer, take your G28 as well, or your lawyer's contact information, okay? If you have a green card, you should carry that. If you are a US citizen who does not look like on appearance or sound like on appearance a typical American, have your passport saved on somewhere on your phone, okay? I'm Nigerian. I was born in this country, but I have my passport saved on my phone because I did also grow up in Nigeria. And sometimes I can switch on and off my accent, right? So make sure you have those things because you don't want a case of mistaken identity. So yes, if they find out the error, they'll fix it, but you don't even want to go through the trauma if you don't need to go through the trauma. Those of you who are clients, I already sent you guys an email about travel. And, I'll tell it to you guys online right now because I see someone here asking about traveling. Personally, for my own clients right now, there's just so much happening so fast that my recommendation is that everybody, if you don't have an emergency that is taking you out of the country, an emergency is literally life and death. That is the only emergency. You don't need to travel right now for the next 100 days. Why? Because we don't know what's changing and what could potentially affect you, whether you're here or there. What if your case gets denied while you're out of the country? We had something like that actually happen to a client of ours. By the grace of God, that client's case was reopened because of USCIS's error. And we got that client approved and that client was able to come back into the United States. But that truly was is always my greatest fear, my greatest nightmare, when it is. And, sometimes I tell clients, don't travel. And they're like, well, attorney, thank you for telling me that, but I'm still going to travel. And then they travel and they're fine. But it's up to you the level of risk You want to take Queen Neela said that was a scary email. I'm sorry to scare you, because I'm really not about that life, but I'm also about protecting my clients. I want my clients to make it to the finish line. I'm a very competitive person. Like, I don't want anyone messing up my track record of success. So if there is something, and I've always told my clients, like, when sometimes my clients are like, oh, I'm worried about something, or are you sure I'm going to get approved? And I say to them, if I'm not worried about something, you don't need to be worried about it. But if I'm sending you an email saying don't travel, or you ask me, attorney, I have a flight planned, can I travel? And I say don't travel, please listen to me. Please listen to me. Tim Trin says, I'm one of your clients and I didn't get an email. Oh, maybe check your spam. Check your spam. This email was sent out yesterday, so it might be your spam. But this was a blast to everyone, but everyone definitely got it. So definitely check. I can only take a few questions because I got to jump off. Today was really just more of to just encourage you guys to know that deportations have been happening. What this administration is doing is using it, again, as a way of fear tactics. Stay out of trouble. Don't commit any crimes. That should go without saying. If you choose to drink, don't drink and drive. If you get into an accident, don't flee the scene. Don't shoplift. Don't do all those things. You'll be fine. Someone's asking your location. Our office is in Atlanta, but we represent clients in every state in the United States. So regardless of where you live, we can represent you as long as it's a case type that we have. Someone is asking, what about domestic flights? Can I make domestic flights? You can make domestic flights as long as you have something that is pending. Meaning you have an EAD or a combination card with an EAD, which is a work permit, and an advance parole, which is a travel permit. If all you have is a receipt notice, right, and you have a pending case, I say do not get on flights, because right now DHS is, they are on basically a lot of, what do they call those things? Those hangars. Basically those from the check-in to you get on the plane, a lot of them are there and just randomly checking people, and it's unfortunate because this automatically is going to create an implicit bias, because there are going to be certain people and people of certain complexion, that are immediately going to be checked versus certain others, which sucks. But it's just better to always err on the side of caution. Yeah, the jet bridge. Thank you, Damala, for telling me what it's called, the jet bridge. So basically, if you're doing a domestic travel, make sure you have your work permit or your travel permit, you're in a national passport, and you have not overstayed your visa, you're here on TPS, just basically anything that puts you in a period of authorized stay. If you have a work permit, that means you have a pending case, so you should be able to travel domestically with that. What about holding a prima facie alone because you're expecting your combo card? Personally, a prima facie is good. But personally, my own comfort level is waiting till you get your work permit or advance parole before you get on flights. If not, just do a local drive, if you can. Okay. Someone said, do you help Mexican immigrants? Absolutely. We help all immigrants as long as you want to immigrate to the United States and it's a case type that we provide for. I'm a 10-year green card holder for about 1 year and 8 months now. I've traveled once. I have a ticket for February. Can I travel? Remember what I said in the beginning of this live. A 10-year green card holder is someone of legal permanent residency. You don't have an immigration issue. You are a permanent resident, so you are eligible to travel and do whatever you want other than committing a crime of moral turpitude, right? Because nobody's above the law. If you're a U.S. citizen and you commit a crime, you'll be in jail. So again, 10-year green card holders, citizen, you have nothing to worry about. You're legally here. Even the birthright citizenship allows your children to be U.S. citizens, so you don't have anything to worry about. If you are a 2-year green card, you do have something to worry about, not now, but to make sure that you have a strong application when you're filing for removal of conditions, because if they don't approve the removal of conditions based on them feeling that your marriage was truly a good faith marriage, they will terminate the temporary green card. Okay. And then for those of you who are like, oh, this is going to be my last comment. Sorry, guys, I couldn't get to all your questions today because today was really just about me talking. Like all of those people saying, oh, vow takes a long time, whatever it takes a long time. Listen, right now, time is your friend. You need to buy time and out of this administration, basically. So if you are in a pending case that takes time, you're okay. You're safe. So stop rushing a decision if you don't have a slam dunk case. If you don't have a slam dunk case, let time be your friend. Okay. So that's what I'll say. Someone is asking, what about gay marriages and a green card? Gay marriages are legal in the United States, and so there is no problem with you getting a green card. So because they've removed trans from military does not mean that they've dismantled gay rights as it relates to marriage. So as long as marriage is recognized as a legal marriage and your spouse is a U.S. citizen, whether that's 2 men, 2 women, you will be eligible to apply for a green card. The only difference with the laws that was passed last week is that there will be only 2 genders. So you either be male or female. There will be no such thing as non-binary or any of all the other things that are listed in those applications, but it doesn't matter. You will still be eligible to file for a green card. I'm sorry I couldn't get to your questions today, but I'm going to save this live for some encouragement and motivation for you guys to go back to listen to when you're bugging out. I will try and catch you all maybe later on this week. It's just, as I'm sure you guys can imagine, it's nonstop. I am like super busy. I'm trying my best to come record as much updates. There's just so much going on, but I just don't want to be distracted from working. I am busy working, and that's what my goal is, to get my clients to the finish line. So I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will chat with y'all later. Bye.